Honorable Speaker, sir. Sir, our party compliments the Telangana government for taking up the comprehensive land survey for rectification, simplification and purification of land records in the state, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, the previous survey was done 80 years ago during the Nizam's rule, sir. Sir, before I go into the subject, sir, I would like to point out that after the formation of Telangana state, the government has taken up several measures with regards to land issue and other issues, sir. And wherever and whenever we see and we go into the details of any issue that has been taken up after the formation of the Telangana state, what we all come to witness and see is that in all walks of life, in all the departments, and in all the issues that come up for discussion, we see that Telangana has always faced the unjust and injustice. And when we talk about this land issues also, sir, I would like to come on record and say that again, the precious lands of Telangana were auctioned and were sold or allotted when Andhra Pradesh was there to several companies. And the money generated out of the auction or out of the sale of that land was utilized not for the Telangana region, nor for the people of Telangana, but the amount was utilized in Andhra or in Rayalaseema for upliftment of the Andhra region and the Rayalaseema region. And in that Andhra Pradesh assembly, it was me, my party, who used to regularly fight for this injustice and would always used to make demand. The money which has come to the government treasury because of the auction and the allotment should be spent on Telangana region. And now when we see this, sir, it is not just the lands were taken away. I would like to come on record and say that injustice was done to the temple lands, endowment lands, to the masjid land, to Waqf lands. Sir, injustice was done when Inam Abolition Act came in enforcement. Injustice was done to Telangana region when Jagir Abolition Act had come, and the endowment department, the temples, responsible people, the priest of the temples and the priest or the religious leaders of Waqf had gone to Supreme Court and got an order against the Inam Abolition Act and Jagir Abolition Act. And then the then TDP government, when late N.T. Rama Rao Saab was the chief minister, he had brought in law where an exemption was given to all religious institutional Inam or Jagir lands. In spite of that law being enacted, then in Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly, many lands of temples, many lands of dargahs and mosques were taken over by the government, and the government in return, in the later due course of time, had auctioned those lands, have given away those lands. Sir, and also endowment lands were auctioned on a very low price. Many endowment, I have the list of all the endowment lands in Hyderabad city which were auctioned on a very low rate. Again, Hindu religious leaders and Hindu leaders and Hindu people had gone to High Court, and High Court had given stay on that auction. So this is how the injustice has been done. Not only in Jagir and Inam Abolition Act, the injustice for Telangana region continued when Urban Land Ceiling Act came, when Agricultural Land Ceiling Act came. So always the injustice has been done in all walks of life. And this is why the people of Telangana had demanded and wanted a separate state of Telangana. And now I appreciate the government for taking up this step of purification, of simplification of land records. This is the real need and the demand of the moment. But at the same time, Honorable Speaker, sir, I would like to come on record and say that when these reconciliation or purification of simplification of land records is happening in the state, we need to understand and take care of all endowment land, temple land, waqf land, dargahs land, and mosque land also. Sir, why I say this is that, sir, as far as waqf lands are concerned, sir, in 1984, after the demand of MIM party in Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly, it was then that Minority Welfare Department came into existence. And after the Minority Welfare Department coming into existence, sir, it was the demand of MIM party that we demanded and said that all the lands of waqf, mosque or dargahs should be reverted back to waqf board. Before, sir, all the waqf lands used to be monitored and taken care by the revenue department. And when revenue department, right from after the independence till 1984, the revenue department had included all the lands of waqf of dargahs and also all the lands of Inam land of dargahs as a G land, as a government land. Sir, I would like to know, when the Honorable Minister Saab would rise to give a reply, what would be the real fate of these lands? How are you going to give back these lands? Sir, so many disputes are happening, sir, where the Waqf board claims that this land belongs to Waqf, and the government claims and says that this land belongs to them. In spite of dargahs and endowments and temples having the muntakhab, in spite of having the muntakhab, still the government says that, no, this land belongs to the government. In spite of having the muntakhab, and also they have the gazette, and the gazette is also not accepted. And those lands are not transferred in the name of temples and dargahs and mosques. So this is a question why. In this reconciliation, are we going to address these issues? Are we going to take up these issues? This is very important, sir. And also, sir, 3 years ago in December 2014, the government had formed a task force headed by retired IS officer S.K. Sinha to submit a comprehensive report on the grabbing of government lands in Hyderabad and other places. The task force was asked to submit its report within 2 years. The task force was also asked to make recommendation to dispose of the civil suits pending in the courts expeditiously to enable the government to take back the land. Honorable Speaker, sir, the task force went through thousands of records and submitted its report to the government. Its term ended in December 2016. The task force reportedly pointed out the roles of top-level officers and high-level persons in grabbing of government lands covering thousands of acres, sir. Covering thousands of acres, sir. Sir, in one of its reports, the committee elaborated how more than 2,000 acres belonging to freedom fighters situated in Patancheru, Ramchandrapuram, Mandalsway, grabbed with the active cooperation of higher officials who made several important files disappear after lining the pockets with ill-gotten wealth, sir. So the task force stated in this report that a noted real estate firm encroached 400 acres of land assigned to freedom fighters at Kolluru and Tellapur village near BHEL, sir. Sir, with the help of forged paper, the real estate firm had even obtained signatures of the victims on white papers to get the land registered. It was pointed out in the report submitted by the task force. So the report also mentioned the names of some bigwigs who grabbed 144 acres of land in Ibrahimpatnam, 26 acres near Bata Singaram, and 10 acres in Turkanjal. So the task force also made it clear that 800 acres of land which was fenced in two sides of the national highway between Hyderabad and Warangal belonged to the government. The report mentioned the names of persons who were responsible for alienation of land. The task force committee, while suggesting taking back the government, recommended actions to be taken against officials who destroyed the important files relating to the land. So interestingly, the names of MLAs, former MLAs, several deputy collectors and RDO against whom the action needed to be initiated are included in the list presented by the committee. Sir, however, after the report was submitted by S.K. Sinha, no action was initiated against any person or to take back the land. The officials mentioned in the report are presently working at various higher positions, sir, in spite of report pointing out their names, sir. So now the question arises, why action has not been taken? Sir, I would urge the government to table the report. I urge the government to table the report of S.K. Sinha, task force in the state legislature, and spell out the measures taken on the recommendation of the task force. This is very important, sir. If we are not going to do this, then these grabbers will do the same thing what they have been doing all these years. Sir, if the government take back this encroached land, these lands can be utilized for two-bedroom housing scheme and for other public purposes. Sir, I would also like to point out that after the debate in August House on the land issue, sir, at that time, sir, my party had demanded and made some few suggestions regarding the announcement of free regularization or free allotment up to 125 square yards to the poor for GO 58 and regularization of land for more than 125 square yards in GO 59, and also another GO for the regularization of Urban Land Ceiling Act. Sir, at that time, we had said, and the government had agreed on the demand made by MIM and had issued GO 58, 125 square yards of land. Sir, 125 गज के छोटे से जमीन पर रेगुलराइजेशन के वास्ते एक गरीब ने अप्लाई किया और अप्लाई करने के बाद उस छोटी सी जमीन पर 2 से 3 स्टोरी की बिल्डिंग थी, तो उसके बाद यह कहा गया कि आप 10% भरिए, बिल्डिंग बना दिए और वह रेगुलराइजेशन नहीं हुआ। फिर GO 59 आया, 59 में कहा गया मोर देन 125 स्क्वायर यार्ड्स, उस पर भी यह कहा गया कि आप 20% दीजिए, बाद में फिर इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में दीजिए। तो आई वुड लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट एज टू हाउ मेनी applications were received under GO 58, GO 59, how many applicants were cleared, and how many applicants have given the entire amount, what is the amount that the government has received through these GOs, and also what is the government doing about regularization of Urban Land Ceiling Act. This is an important issue, sir. This needs to be replied. Sir, at the same time, sir, I would like to recall and say that, sir, your kind self had constituted 3 joint committees to go into issues of illegal sale, occupation of government land, irregularities in cooperative housing society, and the encroachment of Waqf land. These committees were constituted in 2015, sir. It is almost 3 years since these committees were constituted with tenure of 3 months each. The House Committee on Illegal Occupation of Government Land have asked to look into encroachment of endowment, Bhudan, urban ceiling, Inam, and also other all categories of government land, sir. So the tenure of these House Committee has been extended from time to time, but so far none of these committees have completed work or submitted any report. Sir, your kind self need to intervene in this and tell the chairman and the member of the committees to submit the report. Sir, for 3 years, if the committee is not completing and submitting the report, then the purpose of formation of such committees is failing, sir. Sir, I would like to know the current status of the committees and how many times each of the committees has met, and when these committees would complete the task and submit the reports of the House, sir. And a year ago in December 2016, the state government has constituted a 5-member cabinet subcommittee also. Now one more committee comes, cabinet subcommittee, to formulate the guidelines for regularization of endowment or temple lands. There are 12,003 now 2 temple registered in endowments department, including 646 major temples, sir. So however, there are 20,000 temples, including those not registered with endowment department. There are 5,000 big temples with land holdings. The temples in Telangana have 86,000 acres of land out of more than 56,000 acres of temple land have been encroached. So it is a very sad state, sir.
Please conclude, please conclude.
Sir, I'm just on point, sir. I request, sir, kindly just give me some time, sir. I will not deviate from the subject, sir. Sir, it is very shocking. It is very shocking and surprising that 86,000 acres of land, out of which 56,000 acres of temple land have been encroached. 56,000 acres. Who's responsible for this? Who's going to take back these lands and give back to the temples? Is the question, sir. About 16,000 acres of temple land have been registered in names of private individuals and companies, sir. I was seeing, sir, 16,000 acres of temple land have been registered, sir. Private companies and people have registered in the names. We have to bring back those land and cancel those registration and give those 16,000 acres of land to the temple, sir. Sir, I would also draw attention to the urgent need of reconciling the Waqf land records with the land revenue records by undertaking a joint survey of Waqf properties, sir. So the first survey of Waqf properties in erstwhile United Andhra Pradesh was taken up in 1962 and completed 14 years later, sir. As per the survey, there were 33,929 Waqf properties with lands covering an extent of 77,538, sir, acres in Telangana. Over the decade, almost 57,424 acres of Waqf land have been encroached in Telangana, sir. 57,424 acres of land has been encroached, sir. Sir, out of these lands, sir, there is a very big extent of land which has been taken over by the government and allotted. For example, sir, the international airport, the land belongs to the Baba Sharfuddin Sahab Dargah, sir. If we have to see the high-tech city, Gachibowli, Manikonda Jagir, Dargah Hazrat Hussain Shah Wali, sir. Sir, Chengi Charla jail, that land also, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir. Sir, I was talking about the Waqf land, sir. Sir,
please conclude, please conclude.
Sir, I just need 10 minutes, sir. I request, sir, please, sir.
Please conclude.
Sir, I'm not deviating with the subject, sir. Sir, the first survey of Waqf properties, I had mentioned the details, sir. The second survey of Waqf properties in erstwhile United Andhra Pradesh has launched in 2001 and work has been completed this year. The 13,349 new Waqf properties identified in second Waqf survey in Telangana are yet to be notified in State Gazette, sir. Sir, I have information that 8,000 Waqf properties are actually listed in the revenue land records for the first Waqf survey, sir. The previous government of the Congress Telugu Party in erstwhile United Andhra Pradesh failed to get all the Waqf properties incorporated in the land records, sir. So there was no reconciling of Waqf records with the revenue records, leading to large-scale encroachment of Waqf land, not only private properties but also by the government agencies. The result is that there is a mismatch between the Waqf records and the land records in the district, including Hyderabad, sir. Sir, recently the Telangana government initiated the land survey across the state to rectify the land record. At the same time, the government is keen to protect the Waqf land. I also understand the Waqf board has been directed to furnish the Waqf record by way of soft and hard copies to the tehsildars of all mandal as well as district collectors of all the 31 district incorporation of Waqf lands in revenue records, sir. Sir, I want to know whether I want to know from the Honorable Minister Sahab is that, or from Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, to whether the Waqf board has submitted the entire Waqf record mandal-wise to tehsildar concern. My concern is whether the submission of Waqf record or tehsildar will resolve the issue of Waqf records, will be incorporated in revenue records. Sir, I would like the Deputy Chief Minister Sahab to spell out the steps being taken in this regard, sir, of protecting the Waqf records, and where the government is claiming to be the Waqf, after muntakabs being there, after Gazette being there, will the government transfer those land to Waqf or to the institute, sir? So the government is keen to protect government land, such as Shikam land, etc., initiating step to cancel pattas and ORCs and restore these in the name of the government. Similarly, sir, on the same line, I request the government to issue necessary instructions to the concerned revenue authorities to initiate suo motu action for cancellation of pattas and ORCs issued on Waqf lands and endowment lands, temple land, dargah land, and also masjid land, and restore these in the name of Waqf board or the concerned institute, sir. Sir, if this is not done immediately, the Waqf Board, the endowment, will have to collect the entire revenue records and identify the regular patta and ORC issued on Waqf land and build up the case to file an appeal before the competent authority for cancellation of ORCs and patta, sir, which will go for years together and also require hiring hundreds of advocates to go, sir. Sir, just 2 to 3 minutes, sir. So pending the Gazette notification of the new Waqf institution identified in the second Waqf survey, sir, the records of these Waqf lands may also be incorporated in the revenue record under the ongoing land survey, sir. I quote Section 5 of Waqf Act 1995. So Section number 5, on receipt of report under subsection 3 of Section 4, the state government shall forward a copy of the same to the board. The board shall examine the report forwarded to it under subsection 1 and forwarded back to the government within a period of 6 months of publication of official gazette, a list of Sunni Awqaf or Shia Awqafi in the state, whether existing of commencement of act or coming into existence thereafter, to which the report rates and continue such other particulars as may be prescribed, sir. So the revenue authority shall include the list of Awqaf referred in subsection 2 while updating the land records, and to take into consideration the list of Awqaf referred to in subsection 2 while deciding mutation in the land record. The state government shall maintain a record of the list of published under subsection 2 from time to time, sir. Further, the Honorable High Court in writ petition number 343 of 2015, 232 of 2012 and 352 of 2013 dated 23/12/2015 has ordered for notification updation of entire POB registered, including government, endowment and Waqf record, sir. Sir, I conclude with few lines, sir. Is that, sir? Sir, when we say purification, updation of land records, I want to come on record and bring to the kind notice of the government, sir. The revenue officials at mandal levels are misusing purification, updation, and at the same time, in the same name of the project, the villagers, patadars, much less small farmers are being put to hardship. Much money is being extracted from the villagers and patadars. The revenue officials turn as extortioners and amazing money by way of corruption. Villagers have to wait days together to get their turn to come unless huge amount is paid. To grease the palms and revenue official, the minimum amount is rupees 1,000 per acre to 20,000 per acre also, sir, depending on the location, importance and value of the property. So corruption is happening, sir. I urge the government to kindly look into this also. And also one more point is that if there is one landowner who is not residing in this country, who is outside the country, he has to go personally for that 1B form. So I want them to exempt this. If any owner is living in US or UK or outside India, he should be allowed to submit his requisition through email, sir. Sir, I once again request the government to direct officials of the department to coordinate with Telangana State Waqf Board, Survey Commissioner of Waqf Board, Minority Welfare Department, and undertake a joint survey of all Waqf properties notified under first survey and identified under the second survey under comprehensive land survey, so that the work records are reconciled fully with the revenue land records, and vice versa. I demand the same for the endowment land also, sir. And I hope that a justice would be given, which was not given to Waqf Board and to Endowment Board from years and years together. And I hope that the endowment land will be reverted back or given back to the endowment. The temple land would be given back to the temple, and the Waqf land would be given back to Waqf Board, and the Dargah land would be given back to Dargah. The mosque land would be given back to mosque. And the assigned land issue, we had a discussion, sir. Still there are big landlords who are holding the assigned land. So we need to take an action and get back the assigned land, the land, and given back to the people for whom the land was assigned for their welfare, sir. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.